See how this one shakes out. And we are going. We've got... Oh yeah, this is a melody race. I almost didn't notice that. That's a lie. I didn't notice that. So this is Melody. It's the second character in the story line. We're going to be rocking this gold loot through this run, and we've got Quick Blood Shop with some nice equipment. Heal Spell and some Wing Boots. Unlike with Cadence, you usually don't take the Blood Drum from the Blood Shop, since the Blood Drum does not give any damage buffs to the golden loot. Yeah, Melody going to be locked to this golden loot. It's just a 1 damage move attack weapon that damages all tiles surrounding it on movement. Oh, there's a stack of cookies you can just float right over, and it's right next to a Shrine of Gluttony. Or Shrine of Feast, I think is what it's called. Looks like Maurcyu not gonna go for farming up that shrine with those cookies, though. Just gonna leave the cookies on the floor and move on. Oh, and why did the display name not show up for Evtet? Hold on one second. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, no, that was user error on my part. I blanked out the wrong field, which is why Maurcyu had a win listed already. But we're all good now. Evtet handling that red dragon fight. Gonna farm up this leprechaun for a little bit of gold and that lucky charm to protect against spats. Maurcyu now fighting that red dragon as well. Not gonna wait for the leprechaun. Just gonna pulse, get the kill, get the gold, and get out. These wind boots making for some good access to some extra resources. Maurcyu gonna be able to pick up this fireball scroll set, or tomes, excuse me. Oh, whiffing the fireball there. Let's get the follow-up, and gets the flawless. And the first flawless on Melody runs is generally pretty important, because it's usually how you get your armor online to protect Melody's fragile health pool. Since Melody is weapon locked, that black chest almost always has that plate armor in it. If you get unlucky, it might have glass armor, or heavy glass armor, or some kinds of shields. Generally, you're going to find plate armor, and you're going to feel a lot more comfortable with that 2 heart health pool. Melody cannot get Karate Gi, because the loot is not affected by any damage up, so it is removed from her pool. Evtet kind of getting a little stuck in this trap room here, but gonna be moving on, and Maurcyu has pushed very quickly through this zone 2, and has picked up a lead against Evtet here. And gonna use that last fireball tome to finish off Coral Rift. Picks up the Ring of Shielding. It's gonna provide a one-time greater shield spell in response to damage, and Evtet misses the flawless on Coral Rift. Does take a little bit of splash damage there. Got an arena here. Not much there. There's a heavy shield. Has some synergy with the Ring of Shielding, I believe. I think that was a change that was implemented. I know it was being discussed, but I believe the Ring of Shielding does prevent durability loss on shields while it's equipped. That said, there goes the Ring of Shield. Ring of Shielding getting popped against the wall with that shove monster. Oh, I missed it. Evtet getting reset back to zone 1. Not quite sure what got them, but that is unfortunate. That's going to give Maurcyu a pretty big advantage here. Maurcyu could still use some extra heart containers, but they've got pretty good tankiness. They've got good answers to surround situations. That is the thing where Melody struggles. Melody does not have any way, by default, to deal with enemies surrounding her on all sides. But Maurcyu does have the Earth Tomes and a good stack of bombs at the ready to help with that. Oh, nice freeze spell pickup. Freeze spell, much like shield spell, also getting nerfed in the synchrony changes. Freeze spell does cost a heart and a half to blood cast now. I think it might even need a few extra kills as well to recharge. But still, yeah, okay, yeah, it is a 20 kill recharge now instead of the, I believe, 15 it used to be. It freezes one extra beat? Oh, okay, I actually didn't know that. Music, please. Some cheese here for Maurcyu. Might stick with the Earth Tomes, though. Again, you want to make sure you have those comfortable options to deal with surround situations in case you unexpectedly find yourself in one of those. A little bit of a tight spot there, but well maneuvered around that bomber. And these wing boots just being so handy here to just float right over those spike traps. Back in the shop. Gonna grab that backpack. Could even go back for that cheese now. I'm just gonna push on. $20 kills is definitely not the freeze spell cost in Amplified. I know for a fact that was 15. Shield was 20. We got like Maurcyu with an extra heart and does have a gluttony charm on deck. So gluttony charm with that carrot could boost up to 4 hearts of health here without too much trouble. Red chest given the Freddy familiar. That's gonna give a little bit of passive health regeneration. Can it be trapped? Yeah, Melody can find trapdoors. Oh, wrong spell for Evtet. Looking for the shield spell, hitting the blood heal, and healing themselves to death. Oh yeah, Maurcyu has the Ring of Gold. That Freddy pet is not going to do much. Well, there goes the Ring of Gold, and it gets replaced with a much better Ring of Mana, which, with heal and freeze, is actually kind of ridiculous. Maurcyu might want to... Okay, yeah, there we go. Turning off the winged boots to gain access to that chain lightning effect on the wire. And yeah, there we go. Just pop that freeze spell, even if it costs you blood magic. You've got the mana heal. You'll get that health right back. Hey, yo, Ribs, with the rate of 62. What's going on? That's quite the crowd you're bringing in. Much appreciated. We're in the middle of casting this Melody matchup between Evtet and Maurcyu. Evtet, unfortunately, kind of struggling to get this run off the ground, so Maurcyu just kind of running away with it. But very strong build here with the mana freeze and mana heal. Yep, there we go. Pop that freeze. That rate of freeze lasts effectively forever, and here we are. The Necrodancer fight. This fight is on a timer. Need to make sure you're not dawdling too long, but again, that greater freeze spell can easily just lock down the entire room, save for the Necrodancer, who is immune to the spell. Kind of struggling to get these lures, but yeah, there we go. Pop that freeze. And Marcy's got to be careful here. There we go. On to the last hit. All you gotta do is push Necrodancer into the lava pit. Gotta clear that back line. Oh, okay, Marcy. Alright, there we go. Necrodancers are getting randomly teleported there, and thankfully into a favorable position. And Marcy takes game 1. That's the wrong side. There we go. I think that happens if the Necrodancer is in a situation where he would actually get crushed by the walls moving, like if, against a skeleton or something. Then he just teleports randomly. It's something like that. I'm not 100% sure on that. It looked a little weird on my end too, but you know, all's well that ends well. That's a glass shop. I think just do a quick reset. Yeah, both races gonna reset, get their bomb back, and move on from that. The 1-1 glass shop does tell you that there is a 1-2 blood shop, because the blood shop, for characters that do have access to it, will always show up in the first 2 floors of the run. Oh, Marcy gonna push this crate over to this spiked wall. Let's see what kind of goodies we got. 3 bombs. Definitely worth the effort. Something Melody kind of lacks in the early game is any sort of burst damage, and bombs definitely provide that. So Evtet a little bit ahead to start, but Marcy with the 3 extra bombs definitely prefer to be in Marcy's position here. Marcy gonna skip the trapdoor. Ooh, Evtet going down to the dire bat. Unfortunate. Fortunate luck there. Gotta be careful that you're not giving the dire bats the chance to hit you like that, though. So Marcy, you're gonna take the lead here, going down to 1-3, but the early death isn't much. It is just a few seconds lost. Evtet can easily make up the distance, especially with the advantage of this being a seeded race. Evtet knows exactly what is happening so far in this seed up to this point. Giant green slime could potentially kill it to try and get a leprechaun. Oh, no, Marcy's just gonna take the extra cash. Marcy is not a dev. I think you are mixing up Maurcyu with Maurcyu, who is the lead developer for the Synchrony update. And we've got Marcy picking up that all-important 1-4 plate mail, giving some defense to that tiny little 2-heart pool that Melody has. Chainmail on the ground, that's just a straight downgrade here. And Evtet using some bombs here. Speed up the death metal fight. Want to make sure you're getting that flawless as well. Picks up the flawless and is going to be grabbing that plate armor as well. As Marcy heads down to the second boss, King Konga 2. Marcy going to try to bomb Konga. Gotta be careful with your positioning on bomb kill attempts against Konga. Unfortunately, just going down a bomb for not much gain, but thankfully, unlike Cadence, Melody doesn't care too much about keeping a massive stash of bombs for the endgame. There's no quick kill on the final boss by having a pile of bombs to destroy the stage, because there is no stage. Big dog coming in here, drops a Gigantism scroll. Might just pop it right now. Yeah, there we go. Gigantism going to offer a little bit of extra defense while it's active by cutting damage down by half. And also giving a splash area of effect to any digs. Gigantism does not increase the loot damage. The loot absolutely will never ever go above 1 damage. Ooh. Classic tall sprite scenario there. Hellhound kind of hiding behind that knight there. Popping out and giving Maurcyu a little bit of a boop. You know, lore-wise, though, it seems odd to me that, you know, the golden loot can only be destroyed at you know, this special shrine on the surface. But apparently, just some run-of-the-mill scroll that, you know, random enemies in the crypt have can make it bigger. So it doesn't seem like it's all that difficult to modify. So why can't it be... Why does it have to go to this special shrine to be destroyed? Really makes you think. Anyway, we've got Maurcyu picking up that Ring of Regen. Which, very helpful. Generally a little better if you have some spells to feed some blood magic to, but, again, Melody's small health pool definitely appreciates just getting a heart back every floor. Evtet, though, is making a pretty solid push here. Approaching the Zone 3 exit. And getting onto deep blues. Oh, Maurcyu! Maurcyu getting dunked by the goo explosion. Oh, but Evtet misses the flawless fist bumps the knight, so isn't going to get that Ring of Regen. Evtet's got a huge advantage, but they've only got 1 heart and are not going to be getting that consistent healing that we saw Maurcyu with. So, and Zone 4 for Melody can be so rough. With Warlocks and Goblin Bombers and Pixies triggering their effects when you deal damage, and Melody sometimes kind of involuntarily dealing damage to enemies, since everything you move near automatically gets attacked. Like, this is very sketchy. Evtet also is lacking any way to open crates normally, so has to work really hard to try and find any extra food. Compass and Ring of Shadows not really helpful. Compass will at least make mapping in Zone 5 easier, but it doesn't help with the situation right now. Maurcyu finding the Blood Shop, and it's got a Courage Shovel. Very strong pickup for Melody. But with the lead here for Evtet, I think Maurcyu's kind of in the state where they just gotta hope Evtet goes down. Evtet really burning through Shield Skulls there, through the Shield Spell and Shield Tome to push in that exit room, and goes down to half a heart to that Spider. Evtet's got to play super cautiously here. Oh, and that Spider's kind of boxing them into this room a little bit. Gotta be careful. Yeah, Evtet definitely slowing down their play a little bit. Trying to just play it safe. I think very wary of those spiders after getting hit by one earlier. Oh, that's a free food. Oh, but doesn't push it into the gargoyle! Evtet doesn't push it into the potential food drop. Oh, that's so bad for them. That gargoyle right there is a potential food source, but they don't have a way to open it now. The Red Dragon's dead. The Goblin Bomber just went down. Evtet's got to keep pushing forward on half a heart. Maurcyu up to Zone 2 here, getting the flawless on Death Metal. Oh! That was so scary for Evtet there. That Telemonkey could have ended the run right there, but it very mercifully just took them to the shop. It was a very, very messy situation. You don't want to move next to the Pixie, but with that teleport monkey right next to it, it's hard not to. So Evtet finding some goo protection, getting a little bit of healing from the Pixie, is in a little bit better of a situation, but still not great. And it's worth emphasizing that the issue I mentioned before of Melody not starting with a way to deal with full surround situations, Evtet has nothing for that. Evtet could heal up to full HP and recharge that shield spell, but if they get fully surrounded with enemies, they are dead. There is nothing they can do. So I think Evtet really needs to try and secure this flawless, and hopefully find something like a fireball spell or an earth spell. Let's be real. We all know you always get earth spell immediately after the Coral Rift fight. Pulse Tomes. Unfortunately, Pulse Tomes, despite being an offensive spell, still do nothing to help with full surround situations, because they only hit the diagonals. Honestly, I definitely take the Crown of Telepathy in that situation. I think having advanced knowledge of what enemies are coming up would be very valuable for Evtet here. Yes, it does reveal spirits at this point, but without any source of healing, getting your hearts cursed doesn't do anything to you. Well, there's a Crown of Thorns. Could get some health regen going. And Zone 5 really appreciates the Crown of Thorns. These skulls and these bat caves with the wire available provide so much extra kills. There we go. Already up to 2 hearts. Yeah, that Crown of Thorns really bailing Evtet here. But again, surround still kill here. And Zone 5 on Melody can be a little sketchy on that front, with the skulls hatching out huge swarms of skeletons. There we go. Red Dragon down. I think I prefer the throwing stars there. Those can potentially solve the surround situations. But that said, we are pretty close to the end of the run at this point. Evtet just approaching the final exit room. Gonna check this cracked wall. Finds a conjurer. Don't think there's really much you're looking for at this point. Like, this is the last floor. All you've got is the Necrodancer fight. All Evtet has to do is to finish this fight in time. Not get crushed by the walls. They've got their shield spell ready. This fight also loves the Crown of Thorns. Get a lot of procs here. Evtet's cut. Ooh, okay, that was close. That was almost a surround. That said, surrounds aren't game ending here in this fight, because the Necrodancer throws bombs routinely, which can clear up the surrounds for you. On to the last hit. Just needs to break the skeleton formation. Oh, this is getting dicey. Okay, there we go. Gets the lineup and gets the push with only 3 lanes left. Evtet gonna be taking game number 2. Oh, a little bit of a dicey run, but Evtet managing to take a scary-looking situation and convert it to a win, capitalizing on Marcy's unfortunate mistake with that exploding gargoyle. Always gotta watch out, watch your step around the ooze. Plate armor's good, but plate armor doesn't mean a whole lot when you're shrunk. Oh yeah, see, that's another thing. The loot shrinks when on ooze. It goes both ways. Why can't we just bathe the loot in ooze until it just disappears? Why can't we do that? Anyway, enough questioning the details of the lore. We've got an immediate courage shovel and bright torch in the starting shop. Evtet didn't go for it, which is very surprising, although I guess not entirely. Bloodshot value on Melody is very often kind of questionable, so sometimes it's better to just skip it and save the bomb. But with it being so close to the starting room here, I think it's worth peeking and resetting if it turns out to not be worth it. Courage Shovel has gotten nerfed in the Synchrony DLC. It only digs tier 1 walls now, but it's still very strong. Especially if you can get a good torch with it. Which, kind of interesting to see that Maurcyu did not take the bright torch that was on offer with the Courage Shovel. I think that's, that's practically a build right there. Maybe wanting to keep the 1 heart worth of buffer health. Maurcyu going for the armor upgrade. Oh, and we've got a thief here. Oh, Courage Shovel got stolen. Want to make sure you get that back. And picks up a Berserk Scroll from the thief. Not the best to find, but again, it's something that provides a solution to full surrounds, which Melody very much cares about. +1 bomb for Maurcyu here. Takes the trapdoor. Yeah, if Maurcyu can just stay alive, though, this Courage Shovel is going to give them a huge advantage. He's not going to have any problem pushing through floors quickly with that auto move dig. Freddy Familiar for Maurcyu could potentially provide some healing. I'm sure is much appreciated. Ooh, but a freeze spell find for Evtet that Maurcyu missed. I think that might have been out of the boss chest. Freeze, a very strong spell, but again, you gotta make sure you're using it before the surround happens. No, Berserk doesn't work like that for Melody. I applaud the trying to think outside the box and use the Berserk spell there to take Coral Riff out, but unfortunately the loot's inherent move attack 1 damage ability is still active. So yes, while you could deal infinite damage to something if you get in range to punch its face with Melody, it is, at the end of the day, still going to get out prioritized by the loot and force Coral Rift to teleport. Maurcyu getting their health topped up with that shop. And yeah, Maurcyu looking like they're just gonna try and push this. Still a very minimal build. Absolutely no torch or mapping for this Courage Shovel, which can be a little sketchy with its more recent nerf. You can try to just run into walls and suddenly find yourself stuck around tier 2 walls. Maurcyu popping the shield spell and going for a teleport trap. I respect the boldness. That's a very gutsy play. Again, Melody, gotta always be thinking of those full surround situations, and teleporting into the middle of a swarm can get you into one of those. So gotta be very careful. Oop, Maurcyu accidentally bumping the wall, so not gonna be getting a flawless reward here. Popping the Blood Shield, I don't know that I like that here. Blood Shield is expensive. Can at least get the heal off of the Freddy Familiar there, but yeah, just gonna end up eating the chicken anyway, so doesn't make a bit of difference. And so yeah, I'm very uncomfortable with this sort of build going into Zone 4. The Courage Shovel with no torch, no visibility on what's on the other side of the wall you're about to move dig through. That's a little spooky. Oh, there's a heal spell, though. That's a good find. Maurcyu's got to be careful here. Okay, good maneuvering there. Being up against the level boundary, always a scary place for Melody. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of this, like, the lack of torch means that there's just a lot of jump scares happening as Maurcyu digs through walls. I've been focusing on Maurcyu here, but Evtet has caught up considerably and has, honestly, a pretty comparable build here. Doesn't have the move dig, but has regen, freeze, and shield. Good shield use there to block the Ogre Club. Evtet's gonna head down to 4-2. One floor behind Maurcyu. Maurcyu is looking pretty solid here, though. With the heal spell. Gonna enable them to take a few hits. Yeah, immediately popping that Fireball Scroll to deal with that dragon. And Maurcyu is through Zone 4. Evtet's health looking a little sketchy, but as long as they make it to the stairs, that Ring of Regen gonna patch them right up. And there we go. Getting to full health. Maurcyu going for the bomb on Deep Blues. Would generally not recommend it. Forces you to chase them all the way down to the bottom corner here, which is quite slow. Not really worth the resources, especially since Maurcyu's got no surround solutions. That bomb was their only answer to full surrounds. Evtet is looking sketchy here, though. I think Evtet expecting a potion, getting a vault, down to a half a heart. Does have shield spell on deck. That's heavy plate, which is nice, but it doesn't solve the low health problem that's going on right now. This Shrine Mimic might... Nope, just shovel. I was about to say, could have a double heart container. Pixie, though, helping with the health situation. Maurcyu fighting that Earth Dragon. Earth Dragon can be tricky on Melody. You can, depending on your motion, you can get that corner set of walls instead of the solid wall, which can box you in pretty badly if you're not careful. Oh, Evtet, please. Freeze. All right, Evtet. Finding the freeze spell moments before death. And the Ring of Regen gonna patch them back up. But Maurcyu is just running away with this. Evtet, good use of the Earth Tome there to quick kill Deep Blues. These are the kinds of plays you gotta make. Maurcyu's trying to run away with this, but it's not an insurmountable lead. Well, at this point, the only way that Evtet wins this is if Maurcyu dies, because the Necrodancer fight does have a hard time limit on it. Yeah, Evtet picking up the cap, which I guess... Oh, Maurcyu getting surrounded. Oh no! Oh no, Maurcyu! Maurcyu! Getting full surrounded near the top! And getting surrounded so bad that even the Necrodancer bomb doesn't free them. Well, I said it. I said it. The only way that Evtet wins at this point is if Maurcyu dies. And, yeah. There it is. There's the death I was just talking about. Oh, my lord. If I'm fired, it's fine. You know... I'm sure Evtet has a nice payout for me. You know, I'm just changing jobs here. I'm just you know, a mercenary match rigger for hire. Just pay me and I'll say good things about your opponent so that they get cursed and die. Yeah, Evtet approaching this 5-3 exit room. Taking out the blue dragon. And, well, okay, Evtet about to start a Necromancer fight, but as we just saw, it's not that difficult to die on the Necromancer fight. And Evtet missing the lure on the first hit, already setting them back a little bit. So far avoiding getting trapped in by swarms, though. And just needs one more hit to advance the final phase of the fight. And looks like gonna get it. Yeah, there we go. Clearing out the skeleton formation. And Evtet, in a surprise reversal at the last minute, is gonna take game 2 for a 2-1 victory.